There's a moment I think almost everyone has lived through, even if we never talk about it. You're driving home. It's the end of a long week, and you pull onto your street, and parked in the driveway next to yours is a brand new car. Something clean, something expensive, and before you can even decide to think about it, your mind has already done the math. How? How did they manage that? Are they doing better than me? Did I miss a step somewhere? It's a small feeling. It passes in a few seconds. But here's what's strange about it. That feeling has almost nothing to do with the car. We're not really jealous of metal and glass. What we're feeling is something older and quieter than that. We're measuring ourselves. We're asking whether we're winning at a game nobody ever fully explained to us. And I want to sit with that feeling for a while today, because I think most of us have been keeping score using the wrong numbers. We've been counting the things we can touch and hold, while the real wealth, the kind that actually decides how your next 10 years go, has been sitting somewhere we almost never look. So let me say something that might sound strange at first. The stuff isn't the point. It never really was. I know how that sounds. We live in a world that is extremely good at convincing us otherwise. From the time we're young, success comes prepackaged in images. The house, the car, the watch, the square footage. These are the markers we're handed. The visible proof that says, this person figured it out. And there's nothing wrong with wanting comfort or beauty or a nice place to come home to. I'm not here to make you feel guilty about any of that. But I think we've quietly confused the symbol of success with the substance of it. Here's the thing about physical things. They are bound by rules that never bend. A car loses value the moment you drive it away, and it keeps losing value every single day after. A house takes up space, needs repair, sits in one location whether the world around it rises or falls. Anything you can own is, by its nature, limited. It decays. It can be lost, taken, broken, or simply left behind by time. And we pour enormous energy into accumulating exactly these kinds of assets, the ones designed to shrink. I don't say that to shame anyone, because honestly, this isn't a personal failing. It's a story we inherited. For most of human history, wealth really was physical. Land, gold, livestock, grain in the storehouse. If you wanted security, you held something heavy in your hands. That instinct is wired deep into us. So when you feel that pull toward the tangible, you're not being shallow. You're running on very old software in a world that quietly updated its rules underneath you, because the rules did change. And almost nobody announced it. Let me try to explain what actually shifted, because once you see it, it's hard to unsee. There's a quiet truth at the center of how the modern world creates value, and it's this. The most powerful asset you can hold today is not something you own. It's something you understand. Knowledge behaves in a way that physical things simply can't. Think about it for a second. If I have a coin and I give it to you, now you have the coin and I don't. That's how physical wealth works. It moves from one hand to another, and there's only so much of it to go around. But if I have an idea and I give it to you, now we both have it. Nothing was lost. The total amount of value in the world actually went up. That's not a small detail. That's a completely different physics. And it changes what wealth even means. The things you own sit still. They wait for the world to come to them, and they lose ground a little more each year. But what you know moves with you. It adapts. When the situation shifts, and it always shifts, your understanding is the thing that lets you just find a new path, see the opening that other people walk right past. Now I want to be careful here, because there's a version of this idea that's gotten very popular and very shallow. People hear knowledge is power, and they think it means information. They think it means collecting facts, saving articles they'll never read, hoarding data like it's the new gold. But raw information isn't wealth. We're drowning in information. You can pull up almost any fact on Earth in about 4 seconds, and somehow most of us don't feel any wiser for it. Information is cheap now. It's everywhere. It's practically free. What's rare, what's actually valuable, is something narrower. It's truthful and useful understanding. Information that you've tested against reality. Knowledge that helps you do something, decide something, see something more clearly than you did before. The difference between data and knowledge is the difference between owning a pile of bricks and knowing how to build a house. Anyone can have the bricks. The value lives in the knowing. And here's where a bit of psychology helps, because I think this explains why we keep getting it backwards. Our brains love things we can see. A car in the driveway is concrete. You can photograph it. You can point to it. It gives off an immediate, visible signal to your neighbors and honestly to yourself. Understanding gives off no signal at all. Nobody can see what you know by looking at you. There's no glint of sunlight off your good judgment. So we systematically underinvest an invisible asset, simply because it doesn't show. We chase the things that announce themselves, and we neglect the thing that quietly decide the outcome. Let me give you a small example that makes this real. Imagine two people, both with the exact same amount of money. The first one takes everything and buys the nicest version of every visible thing. The upgraded car, the bigger place, the impressive lifestyle. The second one buys a more modest version of all of it and takes what's left and spends it learning a skill, a deeper understanding of their field, time to actually think. 5 years later, look at the gap between them. The first person's assets have aged. The car's worth a fraction of what it was. The lifestyle costs the same to maintain, but hasn't grown into anything. Meanwhile, the second person has compounded. What they learned in year 1 made them better in year 2, which opened a door in year 3, which they only recognized because of what they'd understood by then. Their knowledge didn't depreciate. It stacked. That's the quiet engine almost nobody talks about. Physical assets fall. Understanding compounds. And compounding, given enough time, beats almost everything. But I don't want to leave this as a money conversation, because I actually think the money is the smallest part of it. The real shift happens when you stop asking, how do I get more? And start asking, what do I actually understand? Let me tell you why that question changes everything. When your sense of security is built on things you own, you live in a low, constant hum of fear. Because the things can be lost, the market can turn, the job can end, the value can fall, and somewhere underneath you know it, which is why no amount of stuff ever quite makes the anxiety go away. You buy the thing that was supposed to make you feel safe, and within a few months the floor of enough has quietly moved again. But when your security is built on what you understand, something relaxes, because that asset can't be repossessed. Nobody can take it in a downturn. It doesn't sit in a building that could burn down. You carry it. It's the one form of wealth that travels with you through every version of your life. And it actually gets stronger the more the world around you changes. That's the realization I keep coming back to. The point of treating knowledge as your primary asset isn't to become richer in the usual sense. It's to become harder to knock over. There's a word for that, and it isn't power exactly. It's closer to agility, the ability to adapt when the ground moves. And I'd argue that in a world that's changing faster than any of us can fully keep up with, agility is becoming the only real currency. Not what you've stockpiled, what you can do with whatever comes next. And once you see your own understanding as a thing worth protecting and growing, your decisions start to change on their own. You stop measuring a purchase by how it looks and start asking what it teaches you. You stop fearing change quite so much, because change is exactly the conditions in which your kind of asset thrives. You start to feel, maybe for the first time, a little less at the mercy of the world. So what does any of this actually look like on an ordinary Tuesday? Because I don't want this to float off into something abstract that sounds nice and changes nothing. It starts small, and honestly, it starts cheap. The first thing is just to notice where your attention goes when you imagine getting ahead. For a lot of us, it goes straight to acquiring. The next thing to buy, the next thing to own. Try, just once, redirecting a little of that energy toward understanding instead. Not in some dramatic way, just an hour. An hour a week spent getting genuinely better at the one thing that actually moves your life forward is worth more than most of the purchases we agonize over. The second thing is to get pickier about what you let into your head. Like I said, information is free and endless now, and most of it is noise dressed up as insight. So the move isn't to consume more, it's to consume truer. Fewer sources, but better ones. Things you actually think about afterward instead of just scrolling past. Depth has quietly become the rare thing. Almost nobody goes deep anymore, which means the people who do stand out without even trying. The third thing is to practice using what you learn, because knowledge that just sits there isn't really knowledge yet. It's potential. The understanding that compounds is the kind you put into motion, the idea you test, the skill you actually attempt, the concept you explain to someone else until you realize how much of it you didn't fully have. Use turns information into understanding. Without use, it just evaporates. And the last thing, the gentle one, be patient with it. This kind of wealth doesn't announce itself. There's no satisfying photo, no moment where everyone can see what you built. For a long time, it'll feel like nothing is happening. And then one day you'll handle something that would have flattened the old you, almost without effort. And you'll realize the whole time, quietly, the foundation was being poured. None of this requires becoming someone you're not. You don't have to give up nice things or live like an ascetic or turn your life into a productivity project. You just stop confusing the symbols of a good life with the substance of one. I think back to that feeling at the start. The new car in the driveway and that quick, involuntary measuring we all do. And what I've come to believe is that the measuring isn't wrong. We're right to want a life that's secure and good and ours. We've just been counting the wrong things. We were taught to look at what people hold in their hands, when the thing that actually decides their future was always sitting somewhere quieter, in what they understand, what they can adapt to, what they carry that can't be taken. The world really did change underneath us. Wealth used to be heavy. Now the most valuable thing you own weighs nothing at all. Can't be seen, can't be stolen, doesn't decay, and grows the more the world demands of it. That's not a motivational slogan. It's closer to a description of how things now actually work. So you don't have to chase harder. You don't have to win the visible game. You can let a little of that pressure go. Because if you spend your life quietly getting better at understanding the world, truthfully, usefully, a little more each year, you become the kind of person nothing really knocks over. And there's a deep calm in that. Not the calm of having arrived, but the calm of knowing that whatever comes, you'll be able to meet it. That's the quiet power of it. Not what you own, what you understand. And the steadiness that comes from finally building your life on the one thing that lasts. I'll see you in the next one.